Excited to play Mississippi State again. They kind of dominated us on the offensive boards late in the game. We had them. We were up 5. We were up on the glass. We'd given up 9 offensive boards at the under 8 media timeout. And then, it mainly came down to our guards not rebounding the ball there late in the game. So we're going to put some guards out there. They're going to box out, rebound the ball. We'll play big if we need to play big. We'll play guys that we've typically played at the 4, at the 2 if that's what we have to do. But we're going to figure out a way to rebound the ball. We've got to make some improvements following up the Arkansas game. We can't turn the ball over 24 times. Our point guard's got to take care of the ball. Our guys that don't handle it as much have to take care of it. We can't have guys not handling the ball much, turning it over 4 and 5 times, and our point guards can't combine for 11 either. So, we've got to do a better job putting them in positions to where they aren't going to turn it over, and then, we just got to make some simple reads. So those been our bigger points of emphasis. Obviously our defensive rebounding and on offense, taking care of the ball here in practice the last 2 days.
Let's go ahead and get started with questions. Michael Casagrande.
Yeah, Nate, just asking about J.D. Davidson. Where have you seen him grow the most in recent weeks? And was there a game that was maybe a turning point for you and for him in your mind?
You know what? The biggest area of growth, I think, is he's gotten more comfortable playing more aggressive, on offense as he's played harder on D. I think when you just play harder, fly around, don't overthink, your offense too much. You just play really hard on defense and let the offense flow and be aggressive on offense. That's when he's his best. So I think he's been playing a lot harder. He's getting some rebounds, some blocks, some steals. He's getting better on the defensive end, and I think his offense is just becoming more comfortable as he gets more aggressive, the more he gets himself into the game on the defensive end. And I'm not sure if there's one particular game where it feels like the light just went on, but I think he was gradually getting better, and he's definitely playing a lot better now than he was a month ago for sure.
Nick Kelly.
Yeah, for Charles, how have you seen his demeanor evolve, or just the way he conducts himself on the court kind of evolve throughout the season?
Yeah, he's gotten more comfortable too. Both these guys we're talking about are freshmen. Obviously, it's a lot different than high school basketball. So as the year goes on, as many minutes as the two of them have played, they're starting to look a lot more like experienced guys, now that we're in the middle of February. So, Charles' experience comes with, he's been able to rebound the ball better here lately. He's a little more explosive. He was pretty explosive early. Then I think maybe the wear and tear got to him a little bit. Now he's kind of got his mind back right, and we got his body back to where it's feeling good, and he's a little more explosive. He's flying around. He's finishing at the rim again better. And, he's been – and we've, as a coaching staff, have done a better job of finding matchups for him. And when there's not a matchup, either just, we either don't play him, or like the Arkansas game, we've kind of had the diamond in one ready to go. Now the Mississippi State game, there's definite matchups. It's not like they're going to play a – perimeter playing 5 very often. They will a little bit. Brooks plays the 5 some, and he steps out and makes threes. But it's not. Brooks is more of a spacing 5 than he would be a 4, although they play him at the 4 some too. So, but I think we've been able to find him better matchups, and where maybe we were needing to figure out what exactly he does great and what he can and can't do as well.
Let's go next to Charlie Potter.
Hey, Coach, last night on your radio show, you talked about Shaq being an unbelievable defender. Just how have you seen him kind of progress in that area to be more of an all-around player this year?
You know what? He's really good on the ball. He's tough, strong, physical guard. He can get into the ball. After his freshman year, and again, freshmen have a lot they need to learn. I think they realized he wasn't quick enough laterally to stay in front of some of these guards, and he kind of went home. He worked really hard on his lateral quickness. They worked on opening his hips up more, and he's continued to work on that. He's a much better on-ball defender last year as a sophomore, and this year he's gotten even better. I think his off-ball defense is where we're still wanting to see improvement, but he's gotten better, a lot better than even his sophomore year. He can step over, take a charge, make some tough plays off ball, get some steals, smash down on the bigs. So, his rebounding's gotten better. He's strong enough he's one of the stronger kids on the team. He can get into some of the bigs and box them out. We're going to need him to do a lot of that tomorrow with Mississippi State and how well they rebound the ball and how big they are.
All right, Michael Bronner, you're next.
Hey, Coach, with JD being named SEC Freshman of the Week this week, I believe the team is now 9-1 when he scores double figures. Do you buy in at all to the kind of narrative that the team kind of goes as he goes, or do you kind of see that as just more of an anomaly?
I don't know necessarily say it's an anomaly, but I do think we've got to get good point guard play. So, him and Quinterly, it'd be great if they're both playing really well here down the home stretch, but we certainly need one of them playing well. And I don't necessarily even think JD scoring means he's playing well, but I think it's indicative of him just being bought into playing really hard. When he plays really hard, a lot of different things happen. We're better on defense. He's more aggressive, which then in turn he ends up scoring the ball more. And his assist numbers usually are up because he's being a lot more aggressive too. So I think when he's just worried about the right things and playing hard, you see that scoring is a byproduct of that, but us winning is also a byproduct of that because we're better on the defensive end when he's just bought into playing really hard and just being into the team and not, worried about. I think when guys get worried about scoring, they're not playing that hard on defense. We're not as good, and then they're not as aggressive because they're, it's kind of weird how sometimes that works. And I think he's one of those guys that let's just play really hard. Let's make the team better when I'm on the floor. Let's play really hard on the defensive end, stay aggressive on offense. And that's when he's been that way, we've been really good. So I think that the scoring and the winning are both kind of byproducts of that.
All right, looks like we have one last question here for Charlie Potter. Go ahead, Charlie.
Hey, Coach, when you went back and watched the film, just what did you think of the turnovers and how much of those are fixable things?
I think a lot of them are fixable. I mean, they're like careless. There's too many careless outlet passes. We're just not looking. Ball goes through our hands. Guys driving the ball into three defenders, like just move the ball, make simple plays. I thought the ball stuck too much. We should have just made one more pass, and we held on to it too long and had two travels called on stuff like that. Like, just be unselfish, move the ball to your teammate, make sure the ball's moving, make simple plays. We don't need home run plays. We need very simple single. We don't need to shoot for a home run every time. Just hit a single. When we hit singles, our offense is pretty good. The ball moves, and we've got really talented players, and we get them open shots, and we give ourselves a chance to get an offensive board too. So I think most of them are fixable. Arkansas took a lot of charges. We need to be smarter with how we attack the rim with them setting up to take charges. So I think a lot of them are fixable. I told the guys, we don't want our guys playing with their heads turned to the bench every mistake, but there's a point when we can't win the game with you turning the ball over as much as you are. So still want you to play with a lot of freedom, but if you're going to turn the ball over like you've been turning over, we can't keep you in the game. Like, it's just makes it really hard to win the game when we're not taking care of the basketball. So we've got to do a better job as coaches, putting them in a position where they're not going to turn it over, and then they've got to be better at just making simple plays and getting the ball out of their hands at the appropriate times.
Talking a little trash on the field? Yeah, we get it. Trashing the state with litter? That's terrible. Keep it clean. Keep